There's just so much sameness, so many trend cycles. No one's unique anymore because of the accessibility of everything. Everything is at our fingertips. I think what we're doing is so personal that it can always stand the test of time, and I know that we're gonna just keep growing and growing. My name's Abby, I'm 29 years old, and I'm the founder of Abode. We are a custom embroidery brand located here in New York. We just take things that people love, whether it's their pet, their handwriting, a food you love, and we just try to make it fun and interactive, and not just you're buying something, but you're having an experience. We have cocktail napkins, tea towels, tank tops, robes, and then once the customer selects one of those, they bring it over to our table where we have this kind of jewelry box that we've created that shows all the different icons. You pick your icon, you pick your text, and then that order gets sent to either same day, which is orders we complete in the store, or to our studio, which is where we're doing a little bit more complicated orders, or it's being sent to one of our fulfillment partners. We do make all of our sales in Q4, like a lot of product-based businesses with the gifting and holiday times. And this year we're on track to hit 4 million. This summer was amazing because we were on the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection and we sailed with them from Barcelona to Rome on their inaugural sail, brought our machines to Europe. It was crazy. I had saved up all of that money, which had grown to about $10,000. As I was getting ready to graduate from school, I was like, what am I going to do now? I really had no idea. And I saw a couple other young women opening stores in the city and taking advantage of these COVID deals. So I just started walking around the streets and I would just see for lease, for rent signs in these empty storefronts and just call phone numbers and just be like, hi, I'm Abby, I want to open a store. People would come in and they would pick stems and we would do it individually. So we would help you make your own arrangement and then you would buy a vase for it. So they would kind of add up. So our overhead was pretty low other than our rent and our few employees. We were averaging anywhere from like 20 when we first opened to closer to like 50, 60,000 a month during the holidays. Because I felt like we had some leftover money, I decided to just go and spend $15,000 on buying a kind of industrial embroidery machine, having never done embroidery before, because I just thought it would be a fun thing to add to the store. As the business grew, problems also grew. I was trying to do so many things that I couldn't be focused on selling things constantly. So I was hiring more people, that became more expensive. I didn't properly set up workers' comp. I didn't even know about all these things. I ended up having to settle with the state for thousands of dollars because I didn't set my workers' comp up the correct way. Also, I had these $1,000 monthly machine payments to pay off, and people weren't lining up down the block and dying to come in anymore. I needed help on the finances, operations, things like that. And that's when I had to look around and be like, what is this business? Is it really gonna last? And how do I take this to the next level?
My name is Daniel. I'm the COO and co-owner of Abode. My background is in tech. I started off my career as a product manager at a few companies, including startups and at Uber. Abode was already a business before I joined. The business obviously was finding out its own identity. I had kind of come and said, I really think we gotta just go full in on embroidery.
We had a sign that said, ask us about our embroidery. Spoiler alert, no one was asking us. And the machine needed to get serviced. They weigh like 100 pounds and they're on a huge stand. It doesn't fit through the door, so we had to bring it up through the sidewalk, which is why we never brought it upstairs and why it took getting serviced for us to finally make it a thing. We'll tell everyone, if custom embroidery pop up, I'll order things on Amazon and add customization to it. It'll be included with your purchase. Posted it on TikTok, social media, and it just went crazy. I knew I had something special on my hands. I was like, we're not putting this back downstairs. We're leaving this up here. And then the day we moved over to there, the business exploded again, and it just allowed us to do so much, take in so many more orders, and just really grow. We would host small brands, do little pop-ups, make some designs for them, but it was really nothing crazy and nothing really huge. And then we got an email to us that was from LL Bean, and we were like, this must be spam. So they decided to reach out to us and ask us to host an LL Bean at Abode pop-up where we were embroidering directly onto their bags. They had taken over our entire store and turned it into this LL Bean forest cabin dreamland. It was unrecognizable. And we had a line down the block. I think people were waiting for over 4 hours to get their bag.
Abode is pretty complicated now. Around 25% of the business right now are events, mostly events that we go somewhere for. So a lot of clients will hire us to come on site to do embroidery right then and there. Then we have the storefront. That's around 20%, maybe a little bit less. Finally, it's wholesale and bulk. As a business grows this fast without significant cash already in the bank, you have to trade off the profitability, obviously. Around $500,000 a month, that is where the margin improves significantly.
We have rent to pay. Our store is over $10,000 a month. Our office is $5,000 a month. I have 25 employees. We have our 3PL. We have to buy inventory. I think we just spent, like a couple $100,000 on inventory to stock up for the holidays. There's just so much that goes into it that we're achieving these numbers because of the investment that we're making.
A lot of this could not have happened without developing that early creative vision for the identity and the brand for what Abode is. Abby really creatively pushed that and developed it into the next phase.
I would say my biggest regret is leaving the embroidery machine in the basement for so long. I definitely should have put that baby right upstairs the day I brought it home from the sewing machine shop and just started it right off the bat.